Before we go ride, you need to understand how changing gears works. There's a neutral in between.
Now you have got yourself into first gear. Switching from second to third, it's smooth and seamless transition.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to ride a motorcycle. Here we have my 2016 Yamaha R6. And before we get into the actual riding, let's go over a couple of the basic functionality features of a motorcycle. Starting off on the right-hand side of the motorcycle, we have our throttle right over here. The throttle is what is going to be used to accelerate the motorcycle. And when you come off of it, it's going to slow down the motorcycle. We have our front brake right over here. This is going to be very important as the front brakes are usually stronger than the rear brakes. So this is going to be your main source of braking. But be careful not to pull it too hard and lock your front brake because these do get really strong. Right next to it, we have our kill switch right over here. Most bikes will have a red kill switch located somewhere around this area. This kill switch is what allows your bike to turn on, or if you want to turn the bike off instantly, you can hit the kill switch and you can turn it off. We'll go a little bit more into how to turn on the bike later. Coming down to the right leg side of the motorcycle, we have our rear brake. This is how the rear brake engagement looks right over here. The rear brake is very important because you want to be making sure not to just use the front brake, but the rear brake as well. The rear brake is usually a little smaller than the front, so if you press it a little too hard, then you might lock out the rear wheel. So be careful, learn your bike, and use it diligently. Coming over to our left-hand side of the motorcycle, firstly, we have our ignition switch right over here. That's very important because that's where your key will go. Also, we have our left lever. This is the clutch lever. This is going to be very important since this is what you're going to use to switch gears. And I'm going to be going over switching gears here in a little bit. The left-hand handlebar should have your high beams and low beams on it, along with your turn indicator signals and your horn. I also have a GPR stabilizer right here in the middle of my bike. This is used for, at high speeds, you can turn up the stabilizer and it'll actually tighten up your handlebars so it stops the speed wobbles from happening. Let me know if you guys want another video on how the speed wobbles happen and how to prevent those from happening. Coming down from the left-hand side to left leg side is one of the most important features of a motorcycle. This is your gear shifter. Most sports bikes, you will have 6 gears, 1 down. There's a neutral in between, and then there's going to be second, third, fourth, 5th, and 6th. Some Sportsters and cruiser bikes also have 5 gears. So most gears work like this. Let me repeat it one more time. It's going to be 1 down, half up to neutral, second, third, fourth, 5th, 6th. Now that you understand most of the basic functionality features of a motorcycle, there's one big step you need to take before actually getting onto the motorcycle and taking off, which is making sure you're geared up. As you can tell today, I have my MBT clothing, armored hoodie, along with my armored pants on as well. These are really nice because they give you a little more of a casual look while you're riding in case you didn't want to go out and buy leathers. What you could do is get yourself an armored hoodie and armored pants from NBT clothing. You can use my code ROYAL for 15% off. And these are going to make sure that you're safe while you're riding and still provide you the comfort of having pants on along with a hoodie on. Especially as a beginner, it is very important that you ride geared up because we never know what might happen. There's a lot of different things that can happen while you're on the road. It might not even be your fault. And if you do, unfortunately, go down, you want to make sure you're protected from road rash. Even going down at 30 miles per hour or 20 miles per hour will cause a big road rash on your body. And an armored hoodie and some armored pants will make sure that you're protected from that road rash. I do have some boots as well. I'm not wearing those currently, but obviously you want to make sure you have boots on as well, some gloves, and your helmet. Before we go ride, you need to understand how changing gears works. And this is where the clutch engagement is very important. The whole point of the clutch is when you grab the clutch, it disengages the power going to the engine. It allows you to rev up your bike and your bike's not going to go anywhere. It basically puts you in a position of being in neutral. The only way to switch gears is to have your clutch engaged.
To turn on your motorcycle, you're going to turn the key from off to on. You're not going to crank it all the way like in a car. You don't want to break your motorcycle. Your kill switch is not on the X, but it's at the bottom so you can actually turn on your bike. Then you're going to press your ignition switch and hold it until the bike turns on. There we go. You want to make sure your bike is in neutral when you're turning it on. If it's in one of the gears, what you can do is you can hold the clutch and you can turn it on that way as well. So now I'll have the bike in first gear and I'll turn on the bike. As you can see, the neutral light is not on, so my bike is in gear. I have to make sure I'm holding down my clutch, and then I can still turn on the bike. Let's put the bike back into neutral. To get the bike rolling, you want to pull in your clutch and you want to put the bike into first gear. Down here, your left leg side, you're going to push the bike down, and now your bike should be engaged in first gear. Next, you want to give it a little bit of gas, not a lot of gas. You want to give it a little bit of gas, and as you're giving it gas, you want to let out the clutch very slowly, and the bike is going to start moving forward. And you want to keep doing that. You don't want to let out the clutch too fast. Let it out super slowly, and your bike will start rolling forward. And now you have got yourself into first gear. Riding a motorcycle is pretty simple, unless you let go of the clutch way too fast. Engaging first gear is one of the most complicated parts. This is how it looks if you disengage the clutch a little too fast. The bike will stall on you and it will instantly die. So you're giving it a little bit of throttle and then you let go of the clutch. So the bike is going to die. A bike's clutch is a lot more forgiving than a car's clutch. So what you could do is you could actually ride the clutch out a little bit, up to 20-30 feet. Maybe the bike could even be going 20 miles per hour and you're not going to burn the clutch. Let's start up the bike again. We were in first gear, so we had to make sure that the clutch was pulled in, and now we're going to give it some throttle and slowly ease off the clutch as we feel the bike moving. And clutch is still engaged, clutch is still engaged, clutch is still engaged, clutch is still engaged. And now I finally let go fully. Now to switch from first gear to second gear, you want to let off the throttle and you want to pull in the clutch, switch gears with your left leg, and then ease off the clutch again. So it's going to look like this. Let off the throttle, pull in the clutch, switch to second gear, and slowly give it throttle and ease off the clutch again. And now you're in second gear. It all works the same for going up to third gear as well. You want to get off the throttle, pull in the clutch, kick it up into gear, and then give it gas as you're slowly easing off the clutch. Slowly. Now that you're in second or third gear, you want to understand how to downshift. And it's the same thing, but just the opposite. You're going to push down with the throttle, grab the clutch, kick your foot down in order to get it back into gear, and then slowly ease back into it. Over time, you're going to get better and better at this, so it'll go faster and faster. So it'll look something like this. When I'm switching from first to second, switching from second to third, it's smooth and seamless transitions. Now after you've been riding for a while, you're going to start downshifting a lot quicker, and you're going to have to learn what's called rev matching. So let me give you a demonstration of what rev matching is. I'm going to downshift, and my revs are going to fly up at the same time as I downshift. Rev matching is a little more complicated to do for the beginner, but after you figure out how to downshift properly and downshift slowly, you can learn how to rev match as well. Is that a video you guys want to see? If it is, drop it down below in the comments. The hardest part of riding a motorcycle is getting it into first gear and getting it moving. So let me show you guys one more time how to do that. You're going to pull in the clutch, you're going to shift down to first gear, and then you're going to give it a little bit of throttle. You're not going to give it a lot of throttle, but you're just going to give it a little bit of consistent throttle as you're going to slowly let out the clutch. And you're slowly letting out the clutch, still letting out the clutch, and now I've let out the clutch completely. Make sure not to dump the clutch, and then you can enjoy the perks of riding a motorcycle.
I hope you guys enjoyed that basic tutorial video today, and I hope you guys actually learned something from it. If you guys did, make sure to subscribe and like this video. Comment down below what other type of videos should I make. There's a lot of different tutorial videos that I could talk about. We could talk about the speed wobbles, because as a beginner, you want to make sure you're riding safe. Make sure you guys are appreciating the little things in life. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.